I just want to introduce you guys. So Elaiza is a sort of the Power Platform diva. She's a celebrity. She has her own YouTube channel, and she shamed all of us who tried to have a YouTube channel. She's really awesome content. I've been following her for years. And I must say, like, you know, early in the days, you can see rookie Elaiza. I'm sure when she looks back at her videos, she goes, oh man, what is that? But now it's such a professional sort of production that she's doing. It's almost like she has her own studio. So love her work. You know, what the flow, awesome channel. Have a look at it. Kasun, sort of Auckland based. He actually is my colleague at DXC. Expert in sort of the what used to be called, I forgot what the product used to be called.
Finance and operations.
FinOps, yeah. So yeah, just F&O, really cool, sort of completely different angle. Looking at the Power Platform, I'm not a F&O sort of person. You know, I find it really difficult to follow because not only do you need to be a sort of a developer or like have that technical background, but also have that sort of warehousing and that sort of financial background to be able to sort of work with those products. And Marianne, our most valuable Filipina, she's Wellington-based. I've worked for Marianne for years, and I wish I can work with her again. She's sort of an expert in sort of being a functional consultant and knows the product inside out. So over to you guys. Looking forward to that session. What's new? Tell me what's new.
Okay, cool. Can everyone see my screen? You should see what's new 2022 release wave 1.
Yes. Yep.
Okay, perfect. All right, so thank you everyone for not sleeping in today and joining us in the Global Power Platform Bootcamp for New Zealand. As Rami mentioned, we're going to be talking about our top picks for what's new in the upcoming release wave 1. As Rami mentioned, us three are talking today. So we've got Kasun, who is the unstoppable F&O wizard. We've got Marianne, who's a marketing extraordinaire expert, and then we've just got me. Okay. For the agenda, I'm going to first cover Dynamics 365 sales and customer service. I do have a bonus slide in there, so keep an eye out for that. Then Marianne is going to talk about Dynamics 365 marketing, and then we also have Kasun, who's going to talk about Dynamics 365 finance and operations. I'm going to talk really fast because there's a lot of content that I'm trying to jam in my segment of this presentation, so bear with me. So the first one we're going to talk about is Dynamics 365 for sales. So these are my top picks. The first one that we have is conversation intelligence. So what is it? It's all about increasing conversation intelligence discoverability within Dynamics 365 for sales and servicing relevant and valuable tools and insights at the right time for the seller's workflow or the account. Reminder emails, and this is to make sure that the sellers and account managers don't miss valuable insights and follow up on their commitments with their opportunities or leads or with their accounts or customers. We're also going to see the ability to enable comments, perform at mention. So if you're a long-time Dynamics 365 veteran, you know how we used to have the wall, and then that kind of slowly went away because no one was using that. So we're going to have some similar functionality pop up again, and it's to help basically sellers and account managers to be better at what they do when it comes to selling and engaging with the customer. Then we have the Sales Accelerator. So I'm not sure if everyone has used the Sales Accelerator here who do have experience for Dynamics 365 for sales, but it's this new it's this new AI-driven end user interface that you see in the new Sales Hub model-driven app. So it's all about personalization for prioritized daily work lists. So at the moment, when a seller or an account manager goes into the sales accelerator, everything is prioritized, but in the future, what they're going to be able to do is perform advanced fine filtering, such as filter by due by or the activity type. And then another personal favorite of mine that is coming, which I'm really excited for, is the ability to enable Outlook integration to avoid double booking. So again, if you're a long-time Dynamics 365 consultant in here, you know that CRM for Outlook has always been around, and now we have the Outlook app, but we've never been able to see an Outlook calendar. And so in the future, we're going to be able to see that, which is really, really exciting. Then we've got forecasting and pipeline intelligence. So this one's AI driven. So at the moment, we can see, forecasting and pipeline, but what we're going to be able to see in the future is compare these annual projections year by year, and then you can actually compare the AI predictions with actual data. So you're going to be able to measure what the AI predicted, as in the AI model predicted, compared to how you actually delivered in that quarter or for that year. And then the last thing that I wanted to cover was in regards to the Dynamics 365 Enterprise license. So traditionally in the past, we've had to purchase an additional add-on. So I think it's called Sales Insights add-on. But now what they're doing is that they're including the Sales Accelerator, the Conversation Intelligence, and Predictive Scoring within the Dynamics 365 Enterprise license. And you can see that there's this whole initiative to make your team, whether you are in Dynamics 365 for sales or in the Customer Service Hub, which you'll see shortly, collaborate and work together. And it's really important in this time, especially when COVID is, a global pandemic, because we're no longer operating in the offices. So previously, if you were in the same office as someone in another team that you need to grab their assistance from, you could just walk over to the elevator and go to their floor and ask them for help. But we can't really do that right now. So this whole AI-driven and collaboration and user experience is really coming up in all of the apps across Dynamics 365. So what I'm going to do next is give you a quick preview on how the Sales Accelerator works. So again, this all exists today in the Sales Hub. So this is simply screenshot, so it's not a live demo, but basically over on the left-hand side is your prioritized work list. So with every opportunity that you have as a seller or an account manager, every time you go in here, you're going to see which one you should prioritize first. So in this case, we can see that there's an opportunity in here for the account Blue Yonder, and I need to call the customer Emma. And if we have a look over here, we can see why this has been prioritized as high due to these key points in here. So then the next step that Emma would do is click on this link before she takes the call. Sorry, the sales agent would click on this link before they take the call with Emma. And when they do that, what's going to happen is that they can preview all of those call transcripts. So immediately they're going to see an overview of all of the calls that have happened to date. And they can also drill down further into those call transcripts as well. So in here, we have an executive summary. So this is automatically generated after the call has ended, and you can also edit this as well. And then what's also going to happen is this cool ability to further drill down into keywords that have been identified by the AI. And you can even play back that particular segment in that transcript. That's pretty cool, right? And then finally, when the seller or the account manager is now confident in understanding what happened previously with this particular opportunity, they can click call. It's going to bring up the team's embedded experience. And in here, you can see automatically that as the conversation is rolling, that transcribe is happening in real time. And you can also see that it's highlighting some keywords or key actions in bold. And what happens is when that call ends, they're going to see this call summary. So it's similar to what I had showed you previously in the previous slide. So again, we can see that the executive summary has been automatically generated. If they also want to add any of the call highlights, they simply click on add and it'll come across here. They can also edit it before they save it. And then another cool thing is that it will also suggest any action items. So in here, it has recognized that, hey, this seller or account manager said that they would take a call with Emma in the following week to make sure that everything is okay. So it's all about that smart conversation, the AI-driven intelligence that's coming into view. And so with this next wave, we're going to see more enhancements to this. And this is the beauty of Dynamics 365 apps, where the team is giving you all of this functionality within the app as part of your license, given that you are using Teams in your company and it has been enabled for external outgoing calls. So keep that in mind. Next thing, Dynamics 365 customer service. So again, these are the top things that I've picked out of the release wave. So we've got email templates. There's going to be enhancements for templates and the inbox experience to help agents. So with email templates, expect to see an advanced digital content designer for creating and styling the templates. So including advanced layouts that are responsive and adapt to any screen size. So that's coming in May of this year. For the inbox view, again, not sure if all of you have tried this out in the customer service Workspace app. I'll provide a link to a blog post from another MVP who has covered the current functionality, but in the future, what's going to happen is that you're going to be able to sort by, I believe, profile and conversation. So basically, the inbox view is the ability for agents to pick and assign open conversations from the inbox. Then we've got communities. So with communities, they're going to release a new modern community portal template. So what I mean by that is think of companies like Vodafone, I think, or even if you use, the Google products, there is the opportunity for people to comment, and then you've got moderators from Google as well as members of the community who can interact with any of the feedback that's given. And so that's coming as well. Then we've got knowledge management. So they're making more enhancements in here where you can perform analytics on the searches that have been done to date. And you're going to have more flexibility in configuring the search control that appears on the side. Then we've got omni-channel. So one of the cool things that's coming is that in the future, we're going to be able to programmatically access the availability of the target queue based on the operating hours and availability of the agents. And then again, we have the Teams integration, which again is AI generated. So I'm going to show you this next. So with an AI generated conversation summary, when an agent has a conversation with a customer and they want to collaborate with other agents, supervisors, or subject matter experts, and so on, they can do that within Microsoft Teams. And then at the end of that, the AI automatically provides a summary of the conversations for the agents to share with other collaborators. So I'll show you the, how this works in the next few slides. Okay, so what you're seeing here is the customer service workspace. And if you take a look, you can see like there's this inbox tray icon. So this is the inbox view. So basically, again, similar to Dynamics 365, so that when you're switching from one app to another, you have that same familiarity in terms of the layout of the user interface. Any agent who comes into here will see all of their prioritized cases that has been suggested by AI. And then they can go ahead and work on it. So again, we have a customer service agent here. They're looking at this case, and then this case is all about an expedited order where the customer has rung up and says they need further assistance with the machine deployment. So then what the agent can do is, again, over here on the side panel, you can see that there's this icon, so it's the message icon, and that will launch Teams directly in the customer service workspace app. So similar to the Dynamics 365 sales, where they can start a new chat. So when they do that, what's going to happen is we see the AI kick in. So the AI is saying, hey, here are some people that you should bring into your chat conversation to get further assistance on this case. So we can see here that Kyle has worked previously on a similar request. And then we can also see that there's an account owner for this particular customer, and there's also a product manager in regards to this particular item that they had sold to this customer. And so what the customer agent can do is then select those suggested people who can resolve the case. And then in here is where AI again has automatically suggested, hey, here's the information that you can share with these people that you're about to collaborate with. So when the chat starts, we can see that the contact card has been sent to those 3 people that have been pulled into the chat as suggested by the AI. So everyone can see what this case is about. They also have a button here where they can also click on it and it'll take them directly to this case. And so the idea is that as the group aligns and information is seamlessly shared, it's going to allow all of them to quickly, come together with an agreement with all the information that they have at the right time. So the idea is that the case is resolved in a much quicker time by combining Dynamics 365 Customer Service Workspace with Microsoft Teams, and to improve that customer experience across the entire company. So again, we're seeing this digital collaboration in both of the apps, and that's again going to be really important as we're trying to navigate ourselves in this world where there's a global pandemic. Okay, so for my sneaky bonus side, I have my 2 picks from both the Power Apps and the Power Automate release wave. So the first one is about the subgrid, so grid control within the model-driven apps. So at the moment, we have to click on like a page number. So in other words, paging if we want to see the next list of records. So what's going to happen is that we're going to be able to continue to scroll down to get to the rows that we need to. Paging will still be available as an option for makers. And then for the Power FX name formulas, this one I'm actually quite excited about, and Hamish Yield might also be excited about this as a fellow Power App maker. But right now, when we want to make use of global variables and collections, we do it on the app .onstart, or we use a screen on visible technique, and this really impacts the load time performance. So what's going to happen is that, Microsoft Excel. So in Microsoft Excel today, it supports the naming of formulas with the name manager. So you're making formulas reusable across a spreadsheet, which is also going to be adopted in Power FX. So in the chat after this, I'll give you an example of what they've included in the release so that you understand how this is going to change in the future. And then moving on to Power Automate. There is a snippet in here about the OData editor improvements in cloud flows. So as Rami was talking about, within the Microsoft Power Platform, you have access to certain endpoints. But don't get excited with this one because this one only covers the SharePoint connector. So what do you mean by this is, if you think about the Dataverse connector or how we filter records today in Advanced Find, it's the click and select type of experience. So, you select your table, you select the column, you say equals city of Wellington or does not equal Wellington. So at the moment in SharePoint, you need to know what those parameters are as well as the name of the columns. But in the SharePoint connector, what they're going to do is give a similar look and feel to Advanced Find in model-driven apps or in Dynamics 365. But I'm crossing my fingers because I'm hoping the Dataverse connector will also be improved, so watch this space. And then the very last one is to do with Power Automate desktop flows. So I'm really excited about this one because in the future, we'll be able to use credentials that are stored in Azure Key Vault so that it's a better and secure way of doing automation when you combine Power Automate Desktop with your cloud flows. And that's it for me. I'm going to stop sharing and I will hand it over to Mary Ann.
Thanks, Elaiza. You can breathe now. Let me share my
over to you.
Thanks. Can you guys see my screen? Right. So I'm going to cover. Cool. So I'm going to cover Dynamics 365 marketing in this part of the session. Now, before I go into it, I just noticed when Rami was doing the what do you call that? In the beginning, when he was doing the survey, that a few of the attendees are quite new and are not really familiar with Dynamics or the Dataverse even. So I just want to do a 2-minute overview of what is marketing, Dynamics 365 marketing, because marketing is relatively new in the game, unlike with sales and customer service. So let me just play this. That's Dynamics 365 marketing for you in a nutshell. So basically, if you're familiar with, like, for example, MailChimp, this is for outbound marketing. So it allows you to create, send emails to your customers. It could be, B2B or B2C kind of marketing. So it allows you to do outbound and also real time. So the difference is outbound is just sending an email, and traditionally that's how we do marketing. But with Dynamics 365, you're able to do real-time customer journey. So based on your customer's action, let's say they open an email, you can do actions to do further nurturing into their journey. So you can, for example, if they open an email or they haven't opened an email, you can send a reminder in 2 days. Or you could also send mobile messages, and that can be incorporated into the customer journey as well. So we can do more actions based on the customer behavior. So I think that's if we compare with the outbound versus the real time. So the real time really gives you that control over how you want to handhold your customer's journey. And the good thing about this is sitting on top of the Dataverse, which is what Rami covers earlier. So all that features and goodness in terms of security, logic, data storage, integration available, that will be available in here for the Dynamics 365 marketing as well. All right, so let me go through what's new. I might just don't have a lot of time, so I might just jump into this. So with the release wave 1, Microsoft have sectioned this into 3. So collaboration, data and AI, and moments-based marketing. First off, with the collaborative apps, as you can see on the dates, some of these are available by this month, but I tried marketing trial and it's not there yet, so probably end of this month, and April, June, so it's staggered until September. So first thing off is we are normally used to how the customer journey, we're not able to do further. You're limited within whatever you design your customer journey is. But in this feature new release, you'll be able to trigger a customer journey within a customer journey, or a Power Automate to do further, like data update and whatever actions you want to do within your system based on the customer behavior. So I think that's really powerful, giving you full control of how you want to do stuff in terms of designing your customer journey. Next one here, I really like this one because it gives you the, as you can see on the timeline, because previously all the Dynamics 365 marketing interactions is stored on one of a separate tab here. But now, as you can see in the timeline, you can see when the customer have opened an email, whenever you send an email as well. So now that it's here, so we're really have that 360-degree view of customer interaction. So that's really good. We have another one here, which is a trigger journey based on data changes. So this allows you, doesn't have a screenshot in the release notes, but I think this will allow you to do or trigger a customer journey based on whether, if you have a new contact added or maybe a case, high priority case have been raised, you'll be able to kick off a customer journey based on that. So it's really powerful in terms of giving you full control on how you want to design your customer journey. Next, they've made collaborate across your organization. So this is Microsoft Teams chat. So as you've seen as well, how in Elaiza's demo earlier, so the Teams chat channel is also available in the 365 marketing. So you have a Teams pane, and you can do a link chat, which will be stored in the record, and you'll be able to chat with other people as well and collaborate on, let's say, for example, this is creating an email for marketing. And then with data and AI, I'm just going to go through this and connect. So you'll be able to connect with your customer insights. So use your data stored in Data Lake. And so you're not just limited with your data in Dynamics 365 marketing. You can trigger your customer journey, do your segmentations using data within customer insights as well. So I think that's also really powerful, giving you more choices. And yeah, and next one is personalized email. So these are predefined Dynamics text. So it allows you now to predefine your tokens, so you don't have to know the underlying data structure of where is the full name stored or where is the job title stored. So you can, for those people who know the data structure, can create these tokens and can be reused by all the marketers within the business. And we are now able to hopefully do reusable content. These are the content blocks. Previously, we are limited to only using images and text, so we don't have all these layouts and stuff. So hopefully, once this is released, it will be really good to have a reusable content blocks and a content block that you can actually design as per how you want it to be. And we'll be able to do content, conditional content as well. So I really like this one because previously you have to do your if-else condition within the mail. So you kind of doing coding, but as you can see here on the screenshot, you have, you'll be able to say, this is my default image. And if it's a VIP member, then show this image instead. And you can add multiple variants as per the screenshot. So that's really good. And for the moments-based, this one is giving you the option of, we don't have the condition right now. This is not available when you're creating a journey. So now you'll be able to further filter down your condition to say, okay, when a case is added and a priority of that case is high, then kick off this customer journey. So you have more control now with how you want to trigger it. And next one here is using the SMS. So this is allowing you to respond based on the keyword, respond to the SMS, go through different paths in your journey. And this is allowing you to send a reminder. So this is a loop, like, so for example, if you have a customer journey for people who are maybe they need to do their vaccine booster now for COVID, so you can send a reminder over and over and over and over again before until they do their booster. And now, last but not the least, I think it's the leads. So we've been waiting for the leads to be available to as part of Dynamics 365 marketing, because at the moment you can only do segments against contacts. So now that hopefully in this new release, leads will be available then. So that's me. Thank you, and off to you, Kasun, for the FNL.
Thanks, Marianne. Let me start sharing my screen. You guys able to see my screen?
Yeah.
Okay.
There's a bit of an echo. I think maybe Marianne, if you mute. All right, good to go.
Cool. Yeah, I'll touch based on the FinOps releases. So basically, I'll have 3 sections. So the first one will be finance and operations cross-app capabilities, and then I'll talk about the supply chain and then finance. There's lots of features came in. So in terms of the finance and operations cross-app capabilities, let's touch base on the data and process integration. So there has been a lot of improvements on the integration between finance and operations apps and the Azure Data Lake storage. And so there are a lot of rich capabilities which will be added on this space. And so one of the capabilities which we'll add on is that that will enable customers to build rich data integrations and reports using the data from both customer engagement apps and finance and operation apps using the Azure Synapse link. So that will be a great addition because building rich data integrations and reports from both the customer engagement apps and the finance and operational apps will be really critical for the businesses. And also there will be some features added in, like you can exclude some of the sensitive data with that, so such as like if you use the social security numbers or some other sensitive data, then you can exclude those sensitive data exporting to the Azure Data Lake storage. So that will be really key in some instances, because you don't want to disclose the sensitive data and open it up to the Azure Data Lake so that someone can see those data. So that's really good to exclude, have that option to exclude those sensitive data. And next up is the Power Platform request for FinOps environments. So if you know that today at the moment that if you're using the finance and operational applications, you have no way to purchase the additional computing resources when there is a processing need increases. So Microsoft is planning to extend the Power Platform request to cover the compute meter on the finance and operations platform. And so if you are not having sufficient amount of, there will be sufficient amount of base capacity along with the app licenses. But if you exceeded that, and if you need more computing resources, that there will be a process that will help you to purchase more units and more computing for that. So that will be a really great addition as well. And the other one is the regression suite automation tool. So that is the RSET, which is actually doing the automated testing, help you to do the automated testing, and also this will be incorporated with the DevOps as well. And so there has been a lot of new feature improvements which will happen in the release wave 1. So that's going to be real key as well, because the customers are moving to the cloud and they are looking ways that they can automate all these tests, and having rich capabilities and features adding into the RSET, that will be a real boost to that. and there will be some cross-app features as well. So the cross-app features will provide ease of use for the users, and these capabilities will improve the development, administration, and user experiences by addressing some of the key shortcomings that Microsoft heard from the customers already. So there will be a lot of improvements happening in this space, and that will be really great. So adding new capabilities and features, which is to address the existing some of the shortcomings. And so the next up is the cross-app features. So I'll just highlight some of the cross-app features. So one of them will be the saved. So they have update to client features, and then also update to save views and personalization. So I'll just talk about that update to save views and personalization. So this is saved views allow an easy and no-code approach for customers. And this will help to optimize the user experience and deploy and manage some of those experiences at an organizational level. These enhancements on the save views and personalization will make saved views more applicable for some of the scenarios, and which can lead to improved user satisfaction and productivity. So that's going to be really key, because we've been seeing some of the capabilities adding up to the FinOps, and some of them are the saved views is actually coming from, I think I think CRM have somewhat similar capabilities. So this one added on to the Microsoft the D365 FinOps as well. So it's really good, these features, and then they're going to improve some of these features, as I mentioned. And these will also extend to support for dialogues and support for workspaces and queries on the view on task pages, and exclude individual forms from the saved views. So there are so many new features which will add up with this. And data and process integration. So this is actually helping and enabling customers to build rich data integrations, as I mentioned earlier, on the finance and operations apps using Azure Synapse Link for Microsoft Database. And let's go to the next on the supply chain management. So supply chain management have 3 sections: inventory and logistics, manufacturing, and planning. So in terms of inventory and logistics, there are several capabilities added in to gain visibility, resiliency, and efficiency in the supply chain. And also new global inventory accounting capabilities has been added as well. Also, in terms of the planning, that if you work with the planning, there's a planning optimization which Microsoft introduced not long ago, and there has been some of the capabilities which is lacking from the original MRP. So the planning optimization will have those capabilities added up. And example like planning optimization will support for subcontracting, and it'll support for the shelf life as well. And also it'll helps you to have the centralized calendar maintenance. So there are a few features that will be added with the planning optimization feature. So that will add up the capabilities in the planning optimization. That's going to be real key as well. And yeah, there will be also demand-driven material requirements planning as well. That feature will be coming up as well also. And in terms of manufacturing, there will be material consumption and reservations in the production flow execution interface. So that feature will be added up, and it will focus on, as mentioned here, it focuses on building resiliency into the key manufacturing processes. And there are some features which is added up by Microsoft on that. And So one of the things I'm interested in the on this release is the landed cost integration entities for third-party freight forwarders. So that will help you to integrate with the 3PLs with landed costs, so you can get data like voyage, containers, folio records, and update the estimated costs, tracking control records. So you get that capability, because there will be a lot of new data entities which will be introduced here. So these entities you can use to integrate with the third party, and also it will also give you on the sum, if you realize the actual cost and estimated. If you work with the landed cost, there's a process that you need to realize your actual cost when you get the freight forwarders information, and then you will have that data entity which you can help to import all those invoices if you get multiple invoices at one go, so that you have that data entity which you can import it. So that's going to be a real key, because I've seen a lot of clients have this requirement on integrating with third-party freight forwarders. So having these entities which will be really key and vital for this integration. And yeah, that's something that I'm gonna look forward to. Yeah, there'll be many entities, data entities that will be introduced in this. Yeah. And next up will be available to promise for the inventory visibility add-in. So this will be also key. So I'm just discussing on some of the capabilities on each sections, but there are lots of features underneath them. But I'm just picking up some of the key ones which I like. And so available to promise functionality for the inventory visibility add-in will greatly increase your order fulfillment capability, and it will provide visibility into the future stock levels and can query the next available date for the orders. So it'll help you to recalculate the inventory based on a specified date and period. For retailers and manufacturers can check the inventory for a specified day. Yeah, so it's gonna be real key add-in as well, this one. The next up, which is gonna be the T365 Finance. So Finance also have several capabilities. So in terms of the categorization, have CoFinancials and the Globalisation. So in the CoFinancials, you'll get vendor invoice and OCR related features. So it'll help you to capture the OCR and get the vendor invoice done. So some of this, there will be a few handful of features added up there, and subscription billing related features will be there as well. And reverse reconciled advanced bank reconciliations. So that will be one of the key. As far as I've seen, that's one of the key ones as well. And the financial tax. So financial tax is also is a key one. The financial tax, and that helps you to it's somewhat similar as the financial dimensions. So there'll be new tax that you can introduce. So that will be really key one, which will be there. And yeah, in terms of the subscription billing, if you talk about more, that will give the solution to the organizations engaging in recurring subscription revenue opportunities, including handling complex pricing, consumption, and milestone billing. So that will be there, and we can have the automate and the in terms of the OCR capabilities, it'll have automate and reading recognition of vendor invoices by providing the OCR capabilities to complete the full end-to-end automations. Yeah, that's on that section. And then we will have the globalization. So in terms of the globalizations, you'll have that country-specific globalization. So requirements in the areas of tax compliance and adoption of local business practices. So that's going to be really going to be good. set of features going to be added up. So this is one of the CoFinancial capabilities, as I mentioned. So vendor invoice OCR advanced configurations and deployment wizard to vendor invoice OCR integration. So that would be really great that you have vendor invoice OCR capabilities. And that's the financial tags I was talking about. So financial tags will let organization track user-defined fields on the accounting entries posted to the general ledger, and eliminating the need to create the financial dimensions that contain the values that are not reusable. So that's going to be key. And then you have reverse reconciled advanced bank reconciliation. So this feature will help you to reverse the reconciled advanced bank reconciliation in a single step. So yeah, that's some of the features that we have with the wave one. And this is the globalization. So in terms of the globalization, we have somewhat electronic reporting order by function inquiry. So this will give you significantly improve the performance of many electronic reporting configurations that are executed on the large volume. So that's going to be key. And tax collection service, inheriting the origin tax information for reversal transactions. This feature provides users the option to inherit tax information, such as tax codes, rates, and amounts from the original transaction. So there'll be a lot of features which will add up on the globalization. So that's from me. So if you have any questions, you can ask any questions, or I'll keep this if you want to fill out the survey and win swags. Yeah, thank you.
Awesome session, guys. Any questions for Elaiza, Marianne, or Kasun?